2022 Hot 6 GSL SuperTournament Season 1.
The GSL torches are on.
Giant sparklers.
I forgot we had those, man. I got startled when they came on. I thought the studio was exploding, but
slowest explosion ever.
I can't believe Zest beat Maru. I feel like I'm still processing that. I always try to come to any cast we do with a pretty open mind, but
yeah.
I was pretty much set that Maru was going to beat Zest, and now Zest is in the finals. That means all the Terrans are gone. They're extinct. The aliens won. The bugs and the aliens both have outlived us humans.
Well, to them, tasteless, we're the aliens.
That's true. Actually, we're the bugs. So
to us, we're the bugs, too.
So now it's going to be Dark versus Zoun. And I think we also have to keep an open mind in this series. We just saw that insane upset. Zest came through. I think Zoun is much more capable of beating Dark than when I look at like even Zest versus Maru. So let's see what Zoun's got.
Well, Zest was pretty damn capable of that, Tasteless. That was a pretty one-sided.
It's crazy, too, because the way he beat Maru as well.
Yeah.
You know, a very confident kind of outpacing process of just let the Terran dry up their opportunities and come through with a win.
Yeah, honestly, I felt similar to you coming into today, that I thought that Zoun would have a closer series against Mark than Zest against Dark than Zest against Maru.
That's Mark?
Yeah, Mark. I put them together, Dark and Maru. Their
yeah.
Mark on name is Mark. It's better than Daru, that's for sure. Daru, what are you, from Legend of Zelda? You're a tree or something? Now, but here's the thing. Should we cross our fingers? The Dream Finals, PvP, Zoun versus Zest?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't wait.
Wow.
I feel like Zoun versus Zest would somehow be better than Zest versus Dark, but maybe I've also typecasted Zest and Dark, even though
You've actually always hated Zest. It's been very weird.
Well, that's why you're here. You've been fanboying
Zest
Zest for long enough that it's also weird, where I'm like, what is going on here? Like,
honestly, Tasteless, whoever you like and don't like, I just take the opposite of it to make it interesting. I'm actually the phony guy from the wrestling thing that we were talking about.
That's right. We're going to go to Glittering Ashes for Game 1, Dark versus Zoun, and the fight to see who meets Zest in the finals.
Game start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark.
Whoever cut that image out of the Saran Wrap did the best job by far. Watch the Nexus. It's just not as good.
The Nexus, they cover up the little points on it. It's like they take its little horns off.
It's not the best.
Alpha X.
Look.
Zoun.
That's a girl Nexus. Now it's a boy Nexus.
Yeah, they got rid of like, I mean, I guess you'd have to turn hit point bars off and stuff to get a perfect cutout, but they should have done it. But then you got the chrono boost that's always going on.
Very nice. Carbot Zealot.
I didn't know they made a Zealot one. I don't have that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that, actually.
Either.
Need to add
I have that Zergling they gave us.
I don't have the Zergling in my home either.
What happened
to get one?
The big one I'm talking about. The big
one?
Yeah, remember they gave us a big Zergling at KSL.
No, I think you stole that.
No.
Then
You're the one that steals things, not me.
I've definitely stolen a thing or two. There's definitely a couple exclusive mouse pads back in my place. No, I thought I couldn't take that one home. I didn't know.
Oh. Well,
I actually left it there.
Well,
you stole that. I can't believe this. You're like making me look like the fool. And you went behind the cash register in the studio and emptied it out. Oh, Cannon Rush.
Dude.
Oh,
look at that. It's like dominoes, Taste. As the drone comes around, he just puts up more pylons. That's how dominoes work, right?
That's exactly how they work, yes. Well, look at this.
All right, well, I love how he pops himself out with that geyser.
Look at those two. It's like two angry eyes. Oh, the one blew up. He's blind. He needs an eye patch.
That cancels one there.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. What?
What? Wait, what?
So, yeah, he's making like 4 cannons right now.
How did this one up there get canceled?
That was a pylon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was a cannon.
Yeah, he popped 2 pylons down, popped himself
out. I actually thought that was a cannon make, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Oh,
dude, what am I even looking at? This is insane.
Wait,
this doesn't work.
This
right?
can't work at all, right?
This, like, if this had worked, this was the most intricate, mathed out cannon rush where I'm like, yeah, well, what you do is you cancel so many buildings that you've actually lost enough to make a Nexus, but then you kill them.
You make so many pylons that the Zerg just makes a third hash before his pool.
Okay, so we had like 6 canceled buildings. And yeah, so 3 cannons were straight up killed. So that's 450, 500. So he lost 239 minerals in like canceling? Or was it 139? Something like that.
And then enough
4
for it
pylons
to be alarming
and a probe. This is...
Zerg's going to take his third
Look,
base.
I don't know the math behind it, but I'm going to go ahead and say that Zoun is not ahead after that.
You know, there's nothing more painful than when you try to cheese somebody and it doesn't work. And
There's nothing.
No, stay with me, Artosis. Okay. When you try to cheese somebody and it doesn't work, and then you have to try to go back and play a normal game where you're like 3 times more behind than ever. Where you're like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I'll go back. I can handle it. Like he's now proxying a pylon and making. Maybe this is going to be DT tech. I don't know. And the Overlord's just looking at this like, you don't have a second Nexus.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, and he's looking for whatever it may be. I imagine he'll eventually find it. Yeah, the Overlord flies in, hilariously seeing no Nexus.
I mean, let's go back for a little bit before we talk about any of this, because just to be clear, guys, I mean, Zoun is so screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to quantify how behind you are. You almost never get to see a pro match where there's this far of a distance this early on and the game goes on. Mm-hmm. What was with the cannon rush?
Well,
we don't see a lot of cannon rushes. Honestly, unless Parting's playing, we had a couple with SOS, but he always seemed to know when to pull them out. But I don't feel like I have a memory of Zoun cannon rushing in the last year or two, right?
Well, that would be a perfect opportunity then for him to do it if he's not doing it often.
The thing is, the math on cannon rushes, I mean, you can fine-tune this to where you just know.
Well, at first it looked like he was a super expert with it, but he just, it was very strange the way he tried to do it.
There was creeping enough spots where I'm like, okay, Lings are coming though. Like one of these cannons has to be done. I mean, the idea is that the first cannon finishes in time to kind of chase the drones away, and then as the Lings are coming, the rest of the cannons appear with that, and then you have, you know, the flooding of damage, but
No, well, the cannon rush, at first it looked like he was David Copperfield, but then it looked like he was Joe from Arrested Development, you know?
Yeah. Not magic tricks, illusions.
So his proxy pylon dies. Oh, he finds the gate.
Here it is, DT.
He's going to see the dark
illusions, Dad, illusions.
This is pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit worried now for the series.
He can actually GG. I mean, you fail something like this.
This is a humiliating start to the series, to be honest.
But it's like you said. He failed his cheese, and he's just like infinity behind. All of his stuff's getting scouted. There's not a way to win a game like this.
There's a spore in the main, right? Yeah. All right. All right. GT incoming. 3. No?
2 Stargates now. We're just going to keep going till he's how far down this rabbit hole can we go?
This is so unnecessary. This is like more unnecessary than all the sequels to the Saw movie. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, the story was done. It was okay.
Dude, yeah, no, this is unnecessary is a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
What comes after that, though?
I was thinking about that. What is the next tech juke that you do?
Yeah. I think that's it. I think there's no more. I think you have to go back.
He has to go back and make 2 robos now. We're like, okay, he's going to make Immortals 2 at a time now.
Yeah. He's going to go only Disruptors? Yeah. Okay.
From here, he makes some other ship. I'm not sure what he'll cloak with it, but...
It's the probes.
Yeah. He'll use this to hide his then 5th tech switch. So, I mean, I do want to emphasize this. This is a painful first game.
Yeah.
A humiliating, drawn-out, painful 7 minutes of hell here for Zoun.
Yeah.
And we talked about this in the first series where it's like, it's always interesting to see how one pro opens up against another. And this isn't like, the law of how to look at the game, but there is something to it about like, okay, are you afraid to play this guy? Are you going to cheese him? Are you going to do a really tricky build? Or are you going to play straight up? The fact that this was a cannon rush and a cannon rush that didn't seem to be entirely mathed out makes me a little bit worried for Zoun here.
Yeah. It's but again, you know, it's not a bad idea to open with a super cheese like that, right? Because you kind of keep your opponent on the back foot.
You can hide your normal play, giving him less games to adapt in the series.
Also, maybe he doesn't like glittering ashes. You know, sometimes you'll choose a cheese on a map that you don't feel that confident on.
Yeah, that's a totally
Could just
reasonable
be
way
kind
to
of a
play.
throwaway.
A best of 5, you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling this map, man.
Well, it's 77 Army Spite at 26. Nidus Worm on the way. Queen Roach Ravager.
Void Ray's moving out. I saw 8 Mutas hatch. I don't know where they are now, but
yeah, I don't know where he put the Mutas.
Oh, there they are. Okay. So
Well,
this is going to force a recall here.
Yeah, he's flying in, seeing if he can do anything.
Uh-oh.
That's not good news. Yeah, he starts some Phoenixes now.
So he's just going to try to take the fight because he knows that he just needs to get his Nidus out here.
Good overcharge.
And this should be the killing blow.
Yeah.
The combination of the Queens and the Roaches. I mean, Mutas won't
hurt
as well.
He should expand to the bottom right.
Yeah, no, I think now's when the Mothership comes out and he makes the 2 Robos. I think that's when we're going to have the final phase of this game. And I hope, hopefully for Zoun's sake, this is the last game that looks like this. There's the second Nidus coming here, rotting out the inside of the main. The Nexus is going to fall, as are the pylons that'll support. The only real tech now that's available here. So I think GG any minute.
Yeah, I mean, well, I thought it was going to be like 5 minutes ago, but he's still trying to hold.
GG. Woo! That's what I call StarCraft. That was a real game of StarCraft. I can't believe that the cannon rush backfired so much. I feel like, and you know, this is really a testament to Parting and how solid he is when he does that. But like, you know, everybody's played an online game where somebody does something to you and you're like, what is going on? And then you just kill it and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to go back to the lab with that one. Not very often do you see it in a round of 4 of a major StarCraft 2 tournament.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Everybody's had that game where like someone's doing something weird and maybe there's some idea there, but they haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
And you just kind of kill it. You never get to the bottom of what they really wanted to do, and you move on. Well, that's what that looked like.
Let's put a positive spin on it, okay? At least Zoun got that game out of the way.
Got it out of his system.
Yeah.
Like it was a teenage rebellious era.
It was worse than that. We're going to go into map 2. Berlingrad, get your dogs ready.
Dog map, go.
Game start.
And that last game, man, woof.
Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark.
But Dark's defense, bow wow.
Ooh.
Alpha X. Zoun.
Okay, immediately in game 2, there is a pylon over here at 9 o'clock. And
yeah, what is this all about? Proxy gate, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
How many? 2?
Double gate. Can I get a 3?
Oh, I would love a 3rd gate. Oh, it is a third gate.
It is a 3rd gate.
Oh my God.
All right, we're bringing strats from 1998
Dude,
here at 2022.
Well, this is hilarious.
This is really back in the era when StarCraft players were learning how to use fire to cook food.
Yeah.
This is really, strategically, that's what this looks like.
This is straight up an NA server build.
Yeah, no, this is like day 4. Someone got top 5 on the ladder just with this.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
They didn't get gas yet.
On the
Warp gate's
receiving
too hard
end,
to
kids screaming,
figure out.
knocking soda into their keyboard, angrily posting on forums that there is no way to stop this. We're going to see if they're right today.
They might be. They might be.
Today we find out if they will get vindicated. Oh.
Give me Dark Vision. That's crazy. Oh, he turns around to make a Nexus. Uh-oh!
Uh-oh!
LOL. Okay, let's see. I mean, do you just make some spines in the main? That's it, right? You just make spines in the main.
I would think so.
Let's just finish. I think actually
There is a solution to this that's definitely been mathed out perfectly, but the question is, how often? Oh, now he pulls the probes. I hadn't actually factored that in.
You've gotta, because then you make cannons on the edge of your creep.
That's right.
It's like a CVZ.
Yeah, you keep trying to encircle them in cannons.
All right, gonna start putting damage on the hatchery. Waiting for those probes.
So it does seem like it's a tricky decision.
It's only one.
Spine, yeah, and the queen's out now. And then the probes are going to come in here from behind. And this is going to be that probe micro you kind of mind shift onto the workers. And I don't actually know how well this works. I mean, I'm watching this drone
very well. I think it's just been health straight up with that second spine finishing up. He has 2 queens. His natural hatchery stuff. Well, these are.
All right, this is. I feel like this is the first time I've seen strategies that make me think of Jackass, the TV show, where it's like, my name's Zoun, and this is 3-gate dark. This is 3-gate dark at GSL SuperTournament.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, I love it, Tasteless. That was like my favorite show. No, that's it. That's basically exactly what it is. And the thing is, we have to have the hidden camera at the end with Dark going, what the hell was wrong with that guy? The bystander, that they always had.
Okay, I think we are now seeing a pattern here. I don't think Zoun says, all right. Now I'm going to use my 3-base Void Ray Expo into air toss play.
If he switches into that, he has a small chance.
The pylons need to be made closer to the main. That's my takeaway. Game 3, 2,000 atmospheres. One style of play, maybe? I don't know.
Game start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark.
We've been talking about Zoun. What's going on in Dark's head right now? He's like, all right.
Alpha X.
I am the greatest
Zoun.
Zerg in the region.
Just a normal opener, I guess. Time to play Macro Void Ray, like you said.
That's right.
Now we're going to have 3 36-minute games. Make up for everything else that's happened
Now Zoun
today.
will trade in a macro game very efficiently, ultimately keeping Zerg on 4 to 5 bases and then winning. So
yes.
He's like, oh, so the 3-gate strat didn't work. I guess I'll have to go back onto my technical 15 to 20 minutes of perfect macro style instead.
Yeah, Dark will he will attempt to clear the High Templars and Archons with Ultras, and then
wise grandpa there. What were you saying, Artosis?
Just 36-minute game PVZ means, that's all.
And eventually, when they try to take their last base on that side of the map, only I match them, and ultimately they've traded inefficiently into me with Broodlord Infestor. I will then take the game and win.
Yeah.
If my 3 gates in the middle of the map strat doesn't work.
It's the transition.
Yeah.
The pro pull was especially weird.
Yeah. I either beat you with the most advanced weapons of all time, or I kill you with a rock.
Well, for Zoun, there's really only one question. Gas or no gas?
That's right.
That's truly a question that all of us answer every single game.
That's true.
When you think about it.
Every time we actively make a choice to take our gases, we are choosing to participate in the technical aspect of StarCraft.
Do you like technology? Do you not like technology?
Yeah. Listen, not everybody likes technology.
No, I don't like it.
That's the Amish rush right there, the 3-gate. No tech. Think I'm going to offend people? They're not watching the show.
What is it called when people leave, like Rumspringa?
Rumspringa, yeah. If you're Amish, you got to.
So there might be people watching the show.
Yeah, they could be watching right now. They're no doubt rushing people on the ladder, deciding if this is for them.
Stargate. Hey, Dude, if it
Hey,
actually
hey.
turns into just like 3-base
And
Void
then
Ray,
he wins. I'm like, I don't understand anything anymore.
then he wins with that twice, and then he goes for the cannon rush again and loses.
Even those 2 perfect macro games, and then tries the 3-gate again and fails in the exact same way. And I'm like, I don't get you, man.
Yeah, this doesn't seem quite right. Yeah, here comes the Void Ray. An additional gateway.
In case you guys are wondering why those games look like that, it is possible that whenever Zoun plays Dark in any kind of, kind of friendly scrim or encountering each other on ladder, it's possible that Dark just literally never loses to him.
Yeah,
and so Zoun just has these insane all-ins in the hope that he can kind of,
also
scoop a win.
Yeah, there's so many different levels of mind games too. It's like maybe Zoun actually does pretty well against Dark, but Dark knows his style very well, so he knows Dark has prepped something good. So then you just do like a counter to that, right? Where you're like, well, he likes going hatch first. Let's try to bash in both games.
Weirdly, we weren't that off with our joke. He actually is going to go for Void Ray expand.
Yeah, let's see if he makes more voids. Like adds a second Stargate here. Scan the Oracle. That's good for scouting.
What are you giggling
I
about?
just, when I'm like, he's getting the Oracle, it's good for scouting, remind me that Harangue is good at kicks.
Oh, that joke. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, +1 air weapon stasis. Here we go.
I have this whole
Did you
idea.
go pee on the break? This is gonna be a long
No, I
game.
hold it in until it hurts. That's how I cast the way I do.
That's why you're so good.
Yeah. Where do I get that energy from? Just my screaming bladder.
Yeah.
I've got this new troll technique that I'm using on people, which is to give them extremely obvious advice that is so obvious that it's like almost too much.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you're watching.
So you post on Reddit.
You're watching, yes. You're watching your Zerg friend play, who's been playing for a long time, and then you tell them to put that Overlord outside their expansion so you can see when they expand. Like stuff like that, where it's just like,
I like
what
it.
are you talking about, man? Like, of course I'm going to do that. Like, if I don't do that, I don't even know how to play the game,
Yeah. I love advice like that.
Yeah. If you take more bases, you can outproduce them. That's really what you're trying to do. And you're like, are you seriously telling me that? I mean, do we... Why don't you tell me that I need to chew my food, okay?
Sometimes I do need that advice, to be fair.
So 2 more voids are coming out, so he's upping the air production. This does give Zerg a lot of freedom to grow, and Dark is one of those players where, I mean, this is just one way to approach the game, but it's worth pointing out that Dark is able to really power. So it basically makes this situation where nobody can attack into each other feasibly, but they're both going to be growing at a rapid rate.
Yeah. Robo's coming up, so probably for Disruptor. It's a pretty popular follow-up to this. You don't necessarily have to go into Psystorm. Fleet Beacon coming up here as well. We'll see if he goes for Void Ray upgrades or just goes directly into Carrier. I think generally when you go Disruptor, you go directly into Carrier. Spire coming up here for Dark. Yeah, this is going to be a long game, man.
Well, we're due for one with the, the speed at which those other 2 went.
What, though, if he really throws the mind game out, sends a probe to the top left, makes 3 gates, and then sends all his probes to 3 zones?
That's
the
right.
main base.
What he's got to do is cannon rush the 5th and send all his probes then. With the Void Rays, trust me.
What if there was an upgrade late game, like on the Fleet Beacon or something, that allowed cannons to warp in like 2 seconds?
Oh, that'd be funny. You just warp them in like they're units.
Yeah. You just walk across the entire map.
You just hold the Seeking down and just zigzag it on the screen.
You have like 5 Tempests, and then you just cannon push the entire map with
right.
them. That'd be amazing.
Well, don't forget, in the beta for this game, the cannons could move.
I know.
That was...
I think that was pre-beta. I think that never made it into beta. Because I remember...
Yeah, I mean, no, maybe you're right. I think I remember just seeing videos of that and, like, watching the cannons that were moving around. I'm like, oh, that's going to be an issue if they keep that in the game.
Dude, oh, well, that was actually super funny when we saw that, because they, like, showed that in, like, a video or something. There was, like... For people who don't know, right, back in the old Brood War days, you know, we had a big group of North American players, and the joke was when that video came out that Tasos would be the best player in the world.
That's right. You have no idea with my moving cannons.
So you give Tasos cannons that move, no one's ever going to beat him ever again.
Yeah, sadly, I was relegated to casting once they changed that. I thought I better change my career.
Yeah.
Now, we've got the Corruptor tech coming out here. Now, we've had a couple games where, like, the Zerg leans hard into the Corruptors and then can win the fight, but then the Protoss flips the game back into ground play. I don't know if that's going to happen here, but...
He's not ready for that yet. We don't have any ground upgrades. We don't have Blink either. Normally what you do is after you max out-ish, you get Blink. And then you can kind of switch it up if that happens. Is Dark going to go, like, really quick for a move like that? I don't think it'll work.
No, I don't think he will. But
well, he's making so many, though.
We are going in that direction, though, where that could eventually become, you know, the climax of this game.
The thing is, if you make, like, 20 Corruptors like he's doing, you can't just sit on him. That's, like, a terrible move. Oh, look at that. Looks like he wanted to attack the building with it. He's still making Corruptors, man. I think he's just gonna go for it.
Well, I mean, you know, it's funny for Zerg, you can get all the Corruptors pretty quickly. And obviously, I mean, Protoss can make quite a bit out of the Stargate, but, you know, it's one area per Stargate. And so, if you could just come in here and win this fight, you basically just reset all the tech. So he baits out the Voids, flies back, although there should be a setup for another attack later on.
So he got 3 or 4 Corruptors there, but lost a carrier.
Well, yeah, and not just that, but Zerg's maxing out again, and there's more Corruptors on the way. So he's going to use the cannons as a deterrent.
Yeah, he is making some Vipers, so he can stay aggressive with that, but, like, he immediately went into a Twilight as well. Oh, yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah, this is how you kind of bait them into a fight.
Yeah, we should see Archons joining the fray pretty quickly here. Look at that, he overcharges to save that. I love it.
I think it's actually a better idea to just occupy the main, right? There's not that many cannons here. Protoss isn't in the position yet to where I think you want to try to fight this. Although I think Dark's on to something. I mean, Zoun knows he can't really fully engage this. Whoa!
Yeah, but turns on the Voids, and it's, like, pretty even, I guess. But
I think the other issue,
it's still a little good for Dark, maybe?
Zerg's actually so ahead in expansions that I think that you can do that unfavorable trade economically. You basically buy your way out of the situation. Another carrier goes down. Consider the length of time it takes to make a carrier get the interceptors out compared to just, you know, using larva to make Corruptors.
But if he attack moves right now with these Archons and Zealots, does he just win? There's no greater Spire cases. It's just Corruptors and Queens.
Actually, that's a good point. I wasn't really watching the production tab for that.
There's like, look, he's making 10 Roaches. 10 Roaches does not stop what's coming. There's like a few Lings in here. It's a weird game. I like the ideas that Dark's coming with, but it looks dangerous now as this counterattack comes in.
Yeah, well, let's see how far this can go across the map. He's got 18 Roaches coming in here. He's committed onto these Voids again. What? There's only like one Void left. And so the Corruptors serve their purpose now. I think what he does, he just starts to ooze down the other bases that Protoss have and just make Roaches. And I feel like this might be why we haven't seen this used to great effect.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't actually care about these Corruptors. He actually needs them to die anyway.
Yeah.
And
that was crazy. Oh my god. Disruptor almost killed all the Roaches, but they barely got it the last, like, half of a second. But actually, he fought off the Corruptors that were going for the Nexus. So, like, yeah, there's a lot of Roaches. Blink is not done yet.
Yeah, you know, I think even if Blink's done, I'm not sure. Here's the thing, man. I think that Zoun may have actually succeeded here because Dark was woefully unprepared for the phase 2 of this that we were talking about leading up to this moment, which is that the Zerg kills all the area units. Protoss flips the game into a ground game, but he wasn't really ready for a ground game.
Okay, the Roach Ravager comes out now and fights. This is funny that this started off on, like, carriers and Void Rays, and now it actually just looks like kind of a standard, you know, mid-game.
Well, I think Zoun's going to win this, and this is... Oh, we're actually missing some action here at the 12 o'clock spot. I think it's Zealots or something like that killed off workers. Yeah, so I think Dark's almost dead if Zoun just continues to stabilize and push.
Dark does not have many workers. 66 against 87 right now.
He doesn't have a great army. I mean, we all know Roach Ravager is not the ideal unit comp, especially in a game where we're like almost, what, 13 minutes into this? And now he's actually made some Void Rays in here, which are even better against Roach Ravager, and the Corruptors are all gone.
And he's going 3 Robos, so he's getting like Disruptors, he's getting Immortals. His army is going to absolutely crush what Dark has.
It's like totally weird, because like, why would Zoun not do this in the first 2 games if he's this capable?
Oh,
oh my God.
Well, that is going to be that, I think.
Dude, Zoun wins this, and I don't understand anything. All right, Zoun takes game 3, able to play in a completely confident macro game after a cannon rush backfires, after a 3-gate proxy rush backfires. He's like, well, I better play my really perfect macro play where I stop the Zerg at every pass and get ahead.
But imagine if one of his 2 early cheeses had worked, Tasis, how much we'd be praising right now.
Oh, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
We'd be doing backflips. Like, we can't even do backflips, we'd both be doing backflips.
I do a backflip off of this balcony.
That's right.
Because I need to get down there as quickly as possible to shake his hand.
Well, now we go to Hardwire for game 4. I think Zoun has to be done with cheese, right? He has to be, right?
That's the big question.
The thing is, he's cheesed 2 out of 3 games, so it's, you know, he might try it again.
He should do the Void Ray build again. He did fantastically there, and you can see Dark muttering to himself. Well, it's like, I hope he didn't figure out that I'm weak to Void Rays.
The Void Ray build, my Achilles heel.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Our map is loading up. Dark with a 2-1 lead here, but Zoun winning in the macro game. Let's see what opener he decides to do here as we go into game number 4.
Game starts. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dark.
Okay, he sent one of the first probes out. He's cheesing again.
Oh, really? It might just be a hatch block.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It's possible.
That's true. I don't want to jump the gun here.
Alpha X.
Yeah, you made the pylon
Zoun.
in his nat, so I think it's probably just blocking the hatchery.
At this point in time, I'm like deciding anything that leaves the base early right away is a cheese.
Like, Tasis, that's an Oracle after his base.
Tasis, that's a Void Ray and a 3rd Nexus. What's wrong with you? So he gets the block here. This will put the hatchery, the 2nd hatch, in an inconvenient spot here for the Zerg. Again, very standard stuff.
Yeah, and now will Zoun, you know, sometimes when we see people do this, once upon a time it really oftentimes meant things like oracles or adepts to try to harass because the bases are split up like that, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. Zoun is a big fan of adept builds, like in all matchups. So there's a possibility there, but honestly, I just want to see him do basically what he did last game.
It's been an interesting cast, this best of 5 here. I feel like we've spent a lot of time doing this from Zoun's perspective because the decisions he made have really kind of impacted the whole way the game is going to pan out in a way that Darks really haven't. But I do want to remind everybody, Dark tends to do one super aggro build always in a best of 5.
Yeah, that's
predictably
true.
so.
Generally,
so, yeah. So I mean, if this game does go into that you know, period where Dark may have that opportunity, maybe he actually takes that. I don't know. Well, I want someone to explain to us that 3-gate run into the main. I just want to see, like, was it Dark's opening that just stops that, or was it?
Well, he scouted it, and then
that's true. I forgot he actually saw that. I was wondering, like, if it's just if they just don't see it, you die.
Yeah, I think in this case, if he doesn't see it, because when you see it, the Zealots aren't even out, and you start a spine.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that spine is not up when those Zealots get in there? Oh my God. Just drone death everywhere. Yeah, builds like that are actually really, really strong. It's just they have to be unscouted.
So, I mean, in this game, we're going to see if a Void Ray does come out first, or an Oracle.
Nice move there.
He's going to get one of these lings.
Hopefully. There you go.
So it's going to be the Void Ray right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. Dude, imagine if he just... I want so badly for him to just win again really strongly here, and then just do a cheese and lose.
And just cannon rush, and the cannons don't finish before the Lynx get there and kill it. And we go, I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
You proved you were so good in a more complicated game. Why are you trying to win the easy way?
Yeah.
So, you know, with Dark in that last game, I don't think there was anything wrong in his development. It did seem like he wasn't really prepared to, this is going to sound weird, but stay with me. It didn't sound like he was prepared to win the air fight. Like he won it, and then he didn't have the right unit comp to actually fight a ground army.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay.
Well, that's why he won it, right?
Yeah, like,
That's why people don't really do that. And when he saw that many Corruptors, the Twilight went up immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, well, we need Archons, we need Blink, we need Charge, you know. Because if someone's going to make that many Corruptors, I mean, you only get 200 supply.
Seems like you just want to get a bunch of Banes, man. Lots of Lings and Banes. I don't know how much gas you have after
Yeah, I mean, that
fight,
wouldn't have been bad.
They don't have, like, Immortals and stuff like that. I mean, they have Archons, but if you just kill the Stalkers and Zealots...
Yeah, if you...
You could always beat Immortals and
follow it
Archons in late game if you have, like, 5 bases, if you just kill off the, you know, the tier 1 stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. Like, maybe if he tried something like Bane Roach is the counter to the counter.
Yeah.
Something like that. I guess if you go more Stalker, Archon heavy, it gets a little bit tougher with the Banes. But yeah, that was very charge heavy. You actually went charge before Blink and everything. Interesting game, though. I think it was a very informative game.
So I guess the big question is, assuming this game is, you know, going to continue to pan out the way the last game did, and everything that Zoun is doing indicates that that's what his plan is.
Yeah, it's
to rinse and repeat here. You know, is Dark going to make the necessary adjustments in his own play to be able to actually combat this?
Well, this game, he is getting the Robo, but he got the Twilight first, which is not how he went about it last time. Last time when he made the Robo first, it was clearly going into Disruptors. He added the third Stargate and the Fleet Beacon. Here with Twilight into Robo, I'm not entirely sure because he's getting +1 air, which why not? It's not that expensive, and he is making Void still, but we don't see that Fleet Beacon. And Dark on the other side here, he's getting melee, so more of a macro opener from him. Yeah, look, Blinken +1. Maybe thinking Dark will play similarly, or because like if you go Void Rays into Blink Colossus or Blink Disruptor. Is that like a real thing? Is that as good?
Could be, depending on what they have. I mean,
yeah. I'm not sure what you're trying to do there. I mean, it doesn't sound like terrible, but
so he wasn't making out of the Stargates, but he started once the Overseer went by there. I don't know if that's going to trick Dark into thinking that he's not committed to this. But
it could, yeah.
He has tried to generate, you know, this false impression from the scouting that, like, you know, he's going to switch to ground a little bit faster, but he has the exact same ideas at play as before.
Yeah, like, I mean, right now it just looks like he's getting Blink ready earlier in case of Corruptors. A group of Lings coming over, seeing that fourth. Disruptor on the way. Good amount of Lings being made. They're about to have +1 melee as well. So you got to be careful about that. I mean, they can break stuff down pretty darn quickly.
And, you know, Zerg continues to grow into the map. I do want to point out that this map actually is much bigger than the previous map. There's a lot more bases that Zerg can take. A lot more of a bigger travel time for Protoss to get up there and counterattack if this game does look like the last one. 14 mutas coming here.
Interesting. I wonder, are the mutas going to do all right? Like, he's making 5 cannons, making shield batteries.
I think the thing to note is that, you know, it did look like he stopped making Void Rays. He actually has stopped now. He had this period where he stopped in the Overseer flew, and then he made 2 more, then he stopped again. If you don't continuously make Void Rays, I think you can just lose to the Void Rays to the mutas.
Yeah, you could.
And then if you lose the Void Rays to the mutas, And I don't think Blink's been upgraded yet, unless I missed it.
Yeah, it does. He does have Blink.
He does have Blink. I'm sorry. Okay, then he does have a way to combat that. I thought that the mutas might be able to come in there and just then kill all the workers.
Yeah. Well, he's actually warped in a decent amount. Like, I think actually he beats the mutas pretty handedly here.
Yeah, we have 7 more mutas on the way here. And I don't know, man. Now I'm feeling like Dark is maybe in a bad position because you can't get any value out of these mutas if they don't do damage right away, right?
He's still making mutas as well.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can make like the super clump of mutas, and so many that shield batteries don't do as much anymore, right? You can fly in and just target stuff down. He's making a lot of Zerglings as well. But like Archon plus everything else seems to be pretty good. He blinks away from this. Archon's coming up, not the best engage for Archons, but he does blow up all the roaches with the Disruptor.
Yeah, he comes back on that one Archon. He does manage to pick it off, but the Mutalisk is taking quite a bit of damage over there. Once again, targeting down the other Archon.
Okay.
You know, Archons are great against Mutalisks, but if you can target them down and then regroup with enough more mutas, maybe you can come in here in the next fight and win that. I mean, a lot of the Void Rays are picked off here as well. I do worry, though, that Protoss might be able to kind of balance their way out of this, keep making Zealot Archon, and then have a counterattack that there's no way for Zerg to deal with.
Yeah, it feels that way a lot. And he's actually going into Phoenixes now. Like, he's got those 2 Stargates.
I feel like Zoun, if he plays this the next couple of minutes really well, can just get way ahead.
Yeah.
Because I don't see what Dark's doing as a really healthy setup.
But when he gets... He's got +1 air. When he gets 6 and then 8 Phoenixes plus Archons, the mutas, what are the mutas truly going to do? Thing is, if you run in with 2 Phoenixes, like, yeah, the mutas literally don't care. You got to kind of pull them up a little bit. Now comes in, looks like he's going to unpower these gates. He knows, or the Stargates rather, he knows that the Phoenixes are a problem.
Okay, so, I mean, this is a pretty great attack here from Dark. I mean, the fact that he's unpowering all this stuff, it's going to be a while before he can really get this up and running, even taking out the Temple Archives. Taking a lot of damage in the process, though.
These are good pickoffs, so this is, like, he just eliminated all the tech that counters mutas in a way.
Yeah.
No more Archons. Phoenix is down for a little bit. He is going to go ahead and repower those Stargates now. Honestly, I want to see a Fleet Beacon. If you're going to go Phoenixes, you may as well get the range. All right, a lot of Lings coming in and actually getting on top of these Archons. Look at this. The Muta's fighting very hard, but I mean, there's a lot of Stalkers here. Phoenix is here as well. He has to pull back. He does have those 86 drones. Is this the Zerg versus Protoss equivalent of just getting a huge economy going pure Bane against Terran?
Maybe. Yeah, it's funny how it works because like these units that Zoun is making, they do like on paper counter mutas, but it's really about the way that Zerg can produce, you know, tons of mutas at once. And if you come in here and you snipe down the Phoenix or the Archon or any of this other stuff, it becomes a lot harder to kind of keep the core amount of units that actually allow you to win these fights. Now you can basically target down these Stalkers.
Look at that, the Muta's dealing huge amounts of damage. He does have more Phoenixes coming out. He's microing them pretty darn well. And some Zealots going on to counterattack, which is very, very smart here. Kind of dividing the attention here of Dark. Zealots, he's kind of setting them and forgetting them and microing heavily against the Mutas. So he will push the Mutas out of his base, I think. Yeah, there they go.
He's going to get even more out here. And, I mean, these Zealots are now, you know, he's starting to drive them away. There's so many Mutas out here now. And yet we talk about how these Phoenixes can kind of kite the Mutas indefinitely, but that goes away when you run out of map.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Ling's getting into that third base location. Almost nothing left defensively. So it looks like that base will be taken out. You know what? I think Dark is on the edge of just killing him at this point.
I've never quite casted a game like this, by the way. It's very, very different from what we normally see here. But I think Dark made some real adjustments in his play, and I think the Muta switch and then the Muta commitment really threw off Zoun.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he kept on getting Archons and everything, but he never quite got the critical mass. They got split up quite a bit. Dark was very aggressive trading. And now Dark is mining so much, and Zoun just is not.
Okay, here comes that counterattack. We have a lot of queens coming over here to try to help out. Zealot's sitting in another location, but I'm worried that right now Dark just has too much on the map and in the bank.
Might. The Phoenix is trying their best. There are a lot of Zealots out here, and the Archon Stalker will, like, buy some time.
I just don't think that there's any way to deal with this many mutas. I mean, Protoss is on 3 bases that are going to mine out eventually. Zerg may take a pretty big economic black eye back here. Taking some losses of his own, but I think as the dust settles from this fight, Zerg has, a bajillion Mutalisks out on the map, and Protoss doesn't have the economy to dig their way out of this.
Yeah, he
67 mutas killed this game. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a lot, and he still has 40. It's crazy. But there are 4 Phoenixes only, 2 Archons only, so Zoun is basically out of here. You'd have to completely clump these and fly them over all the Archons.
I mean, Dark is the master, man. I mean, he just really gets how Zerg operate. He's going to come in here to the only viable expansion that his opponent has. He comes through here and just continues to wreak havoc.
Yeah.
We have Zoun at 71 supply. Dark not far away from maxing out, now making Corruptors again so we can try to fight these Phoenixes. Unpowers the pylon.
Oh my god, just killing everything as it flies around here. And, I mean, the Phoenix micro, it's good, but obviously when you're down over 100 supply, this is not going to be enough.
Look at that. Turns on a dime, takes the Phoenixes out. GG. Dark defeats Zoun. In one of the more unusual series I have ever seen, to be honest. I mean, the cannon rush that failed, the 3-gate proxy that failed, then Zoun plays a graceful macro game and wins. Dark makes the right adjustments. But, I think it would have been better if he saved some of those strats for, maybe later parts of the series.
Maybe, yeah. You could be right about that.
Dark definitely adjusted after game 3.
Yeah. It felt like they were both trying to mind game each other a little bit there in game 4. And obviously not quite working out for Zoun. The complete commitment for Mutas was, I think it surprised Zoun even, because he had the right types of units, the right types of tech, that he could have countered it a little bit harder and been more efficient. That's really all he would have needed. For a long time, they were trading pretty evenly to slightly efficient for Zoun, and it could have gotten better for him than that too.
All right, I think we're going to be going to a commercial in a second here, but I got to say, this is a cool finals that we have. Zest, Dark. I think this was, along with Zest, Zoun, I think the least likely. Big surprises there to see Zest get this far. I don't know how Zest is going to fare against a Zerg like Dark.
Well, he can beat him. It's definitely possible. Like, his PvZ is probably not quite as prepped as his PvT was, considering those are the matches he's already played. But don't forget, he's the guy that finally killed Rogue in a best-of-7. So
that is true.
I mean, he can play some nasty PvZ.
And I also don't think that Dark had to give up a whole lot of his style in that series either.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think what Zoun did is sort of off on its own. So I think that's, beneficial here for Dark. And, Zest can come in with whatever he has planned. I don't think Zest intended to do any cannon rushes or, gateways that don't have, warp on them, man. I don't know. That was such a strange game.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I do look forward to this finals. I think it's fair to say, though, that Dark is the favorite looking at this.
I think you're probably right about that, but I can't get my mind off of when Zest took down Rogue, right? So
yeah, and he beat Maru just today.
Yeah.
And made it look easy. So he's clearly taking this seriously. He clearly is okay altering his style and kind of upping that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he's got.
And honestly, even if you look at like game 3 and game 4, you can see weaknesses in Dark's ZVP. He's not invincible in the matchup.
Right.
So I think if Zest brings his absolute best play, if he's remembering some of his air toss type builds and strategies, that could do well enough for him. I mean, it's 7 games. It's a long time. You got to really be able to grind it out.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of games where you're going to have to show different styles of play and be able to like adapt and mix it up, throw a cheese in here or there. Again, I feel like with Dark, we barely scratched the surface of You know, his approach to the game
Well,
in general.
he
Like,
actively didn't play like he normally plays, actually. Like,
yeah, and
against SkyToss going Mass Corruptor, that's not actually how he does it. He actually makes less Corruptors than every other Zerg against SkyToss.
well, then also to just commit to mutas in a very
that was weird.
unusual game. Anyways, quick break. We'll be right back, guys, with the finals. Don't go away.